Welcome to another episode of Realign to Thrive. I'm Diana Lockett, and I am really excited today to bring to you my friend, my mentor, and an incredible spiritual empowering woman, JB Owens. JB comes to us from Red Deer, Alberta, and she is an incredible, accomplished publisher, entrepreneur, and conscious leader in the world today. It's really my privilege. I'm thrilled to have her here. Welcome, JB.
Thank you so much for having me, gorgeous. It's a delight to be here, and I'm happy to share.
Thank you. I often like to know what allows a person to become who they are, to be able to run this massive organization that you have created in a relatively short amount of time. Who did you have to become, JB, to be the person that could be so accomplished in the work that you do?
Oh, it's such a great question right out of the gate. Well, it's interesting. I think every year when I do my journal, actually, I write for the new year, who do I need to become this year? So I write out my goals, I write out my, the things that I'm aspiring for that year. And then at the end, I write, who do I need to become? So I've been doing that for, a couple of, decades now because I love journaling and I love taking the new year. I'm not all about like New Year's resolutions. I'm more about New Year's affirmations and, stepping into who you need to become. So each and every year it's a little bit different, but if you had to sort of look at the, the big long picture, I think I had to become somebody who understood that, we're all amazing just the way we are. We all have our, our curves and our edges and our highs and our lows and our quirks and those sorts of things. And I think growing up, many of us feel like we don't fit in, or we're not perfect, or we're not the cookie cutter shape that's expected of us. And so I had to become the person that really loved the skin that I'm in, really enjoyed the person that I am, and just learn to love everything about me because it's unique, it's different, it's me, it's that fingerprint that only I have, and to not wish that I was anyone else but me.
I love that answer. Love it. You are a one of a kind, unique individual. There will never be another you, and I'm so grateful that you are you.
Amen. Thank you. But that's a journey many of us need to take to get to. And so it was a beautiful journey. And I'm so glad that the universe gave it to me.
Absolutely. And me too. I'm glad the universe gave it to you and you answer to the calling. We always have choices in life, and sometimes it's easier to stay in the comfort of being a little bit smaller or not wanting to look at what's possible in our lives, not going after our dreams. But you have at least in this particular company, but I know you've been an entrepreneur your whole life. Like from the time you had a lemonade stand as a young kid, you've been an entrepreneur. Why a publishing company?
Well, again, going back to my younger years, I always wanted to be seen and I always wanted to be heard. And so a lot of people play small, and I kind of had the opposite syndrome. I wanted to play big, big, big all the time. And I always sort of had people telling me to calm down and, lower your sights and get your head out of the clouds and give your head a shake. I mean, I just have memories and memories of everyone saying it's not possible. And why would you think that? And it's never going to happen. And, you mentioned I grew up in a small town, so really small town mentality. And a publishing house for me, and this is the beauty of the journey that you walk on, is that as a young child, I didn't feel seen and I didn't feel heard and I didn't feel like who I was really accepted. And so 11 days after I graduated from high school, I moved to the big city and, started living my career and going to college and doing fun things and really expanding my business. And publishing for me is so beautiful because through the written word and through telling your story and through sharing your journey, people can see you, they can hear you, they can feel you, they can resonate with you. And I felt like that was so powerful. That was such a gift. And I wanted to be able to give that gift to as many people as possible.
Yeah, so beautiful. And there's so much power in being able to tell a story. And I know this because I'm also Chief Communications Officer with Ignite Publishing for the last several months. And I get to walk alongside some incredible authors who are just starting to dip their toe into telling their story, and then seeing the transition. Their toe dips in and then their whole body, they are fully in, they are embodied, they're in this process of seeing how this is the languaging that I use. Their story is medicine for someone else. So I want to take this opportunity to say thank you for creating this beautiful organization where we all get to walk together, hold each other's hands, and tell our stories in a way that becomes impactful and meaningful for others.
Well, thank you for saying that. And we love having you, and you bring so much to the team and so much to the authors. And we all have a story. We all have to dip our toe into our story and, find the silver lining and the golden nugget. And the truth is, many of us, we get stuck in our story. We get caught up in our story. Our story tends to define us instead of refine us. And so I really love watching people go through the journey, the 360-degree viewpoint of looking back at a particular moment in their life. We like to call them ignite moments. They had these ignite moments that really changed them, that woke them up per se. And it's in that ignite moment that something shifted in their mindset, something in their heart, body, and soul, took that recalibration into like, who is it I'm meant to be? And the journey they walked, the ignite moment, was sort of the breaking point or the awakening point, we like to call it. And that helped them step into a greater version. And right back to what you said, it becomes the medicine for somebody else. It really is like, if she can do it, I can do it too. And it helps people pull them forward into their own experience.
And I love how you said the breaking point is truly the awakening point. There is a bit of choice making in there, and not everybody may be ready to see that in the moment. Sometimes we see it in retrospect as we look back and follow the breadcrumbs of our lives. What was one of the ignite moments in your life?
Oh my gosh, I have so many. And I want to say thank you because we are on our 18th book. So I've written in all 17 previous books. I've shared ignite moments in parenting and conscious leaders and change makers and entrepreneurs. And very excited about our upcoming books, Wisdom, Legacy, Humanity. I have a lot of ignite moments. And I think that's why this process I'm so passionate about, because what I realize is there are things that I've carried with me in my backpack of life. I sometimes refer to it as, those people that are pulling the 747 across the tarmac and they're strapped to it and they're, just making an inch at a time. I used to think like, why am I trying to pull that heavy load forward in my life? Why don't I just stand up and clip and take off the backpack and have the freedom to go forward? And so I have a lot of ignite moments, but I think the one that really woke me up was, I do remember dark days. I do remember one of the most difficult times in my life. I do remember being a single mom, not being able to know if I was going to be able to pay for groceries, feeling alone, being in a town that I had moved to where I didn't know a single soul. I didn't have any family. And I remember being on my hands and knees, and I remember being on the ground crying in a puddle on the floor in my room. And I remember just truly envisioning spirit there with me, crying at his feet and just asking to like rise me up out of this. And if I could rise out of this, if I could get through this, I was going to be dedicated and determined to helping any other woman or a man or individual that was going through the same thing, because I wanted to be lifted at that moment. And that was a big ignite moment for me, because as I cried in the puddle on the floor, I realized that the, spirit was with me, but I had to pick myself up. No one was coming. No one was going to rescue me. I had to pick myself. I had to be my own rescuer. And that was a big ignite moment for me.
What an empowering moment as well. I want to talk to you about your books. I want to talk to you about some other projects that you're doing, but we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Thank you for joining us today. I have with me JB Owens, who is not only my friend, my mentor, she is now also my boss as I work with Ignite Publishing, with so much gratitude for having the opportunity to walk people through their stories. And speaking of stories, JB, Ignite Publishing has published how many books?
Yeah, so 17 books, over 700 authors have gone through our platform. So we are so blessed. Over 47 countries represented, 196 categories on Amazon bestsellers, 13 countries, international bestseller, like really a global, touching all corners of the planet and igniting people's lives.
Amazing. First of all, congratulations. What an accomplishment in a relatively short time, in just around 2 years, correct?
Yeah, that's true. We started in 2019 and we just didn't let the pandemic stop us. We had a goal to do 12 bestsellers in 12 months. We did 12 bestsellers in 13 months, and we just have kept the tap open and, just moving forward. And so many people want to tell their story, and we're always here for them.
And of all those books that you've published, how many of them have gone bestseller?
All 17 of them, along with another dozen solo authors. So we've had many
Yeah.
solo authors come to us. We also publish their books, and we've made every single one of those an international bestseller also.
So, anybody listening, you have a story to tell. I know you do. We all do. And this is an amazing opportunity to be immersed in an environment with a community that gets you, that supports you, and that has the recipe not only to helping you succeed in getting your book published, but in making your book a bestseller book and using it then to monetize your business. And that's something that Ignite does so uniquely well, is there's tons of coaching. JB and her team shows you how to become an authorpreneur to be able to use your book to advance and deliver your business into the world. And I know that you have a few really big projects on the go right now. Can you speak to some of those?
Yeah, well, 2022 has really been all about legacy for me. And I've wanted to really step into the idea of what's possible. What can we do for our future generations? What can we start awakening the minds to what's possible and letting go of where we've been in the last 20 months? And so one of our new projects coming up is all about creating legacy and helping people step into being legacy makers. We've partnered with an incredible organization that is building schools in Cambodia and Rwanda using these amazing plastic recycled bricks. And so it's a beautiful project where they're pulling plastic out of the landfills, building bricks. They're building them into schools. And so all of the proceeds of our book sales go to help build those classrooms. And Ignite Legacy is all about people who want to build a legacy for themselves and be a part of building 12 schools over the next 12 months. And so that's a really powerful project, because as a publishing house, we have to be thinking about literacy. We have to be thinking about the children, the future. And I have a vision, that there's going to be kids in our schools that are going to go on to make massive impact on the planet. They're going to invent things and create things and organize things that are going to move the needle for humanity. And we were a part of putting them into schools instead of having them not go to school or be on dirt floors or without school supplies. So I just know that that project's going to be really powerful.
I totally know it too. I feel it. I have goosebumps all over. And those children are going to go on to write books as well. And I want to share, Les Brown says that children are only 30% of our population, but they're 100% of our future. And so I'm so proud to be partnering with you and with Classroom of Hope to be able to do this. And the fact that they're using recycled material to build schools is just a win-win-win all around. I love it. Now, I also know that you take a little hiatus in the summer and do a little traveling. Talk about that.
Well, when COVID first started, I was, sheltering in with everybody else, gaining weight, feeling, locked in and unable to do, what was possible. And so I really felt like that we needed to awaken the minds of everyone, instead of feeling like, what can we do and what are we allowed to do and what's permitted. I was like, we need to think about what's possible. We need to be saving the planet and fixing the ozone and helping with the polar ice caps and reducing poverty. Like, we need to awaken our minds to what's possible. And so I decided to cycle across Canada with my husband at 50 years old and overweight from COVID.
Can I just pause for a minute and make sure everyone heard that? She decided to cycle across Canada, like over 5,000 kilometers, which is, I don't even know how many miles, maybe 4,000 miles?
36, I think it's 3,600 miles.
Okay, so that's a big bike ride. Go on, please.
Yeah. And I wanted to just show people it's possible. Like, so many people think when it comes to business and it comes to, creating something that it's lucky, or they had, they've been doing it forever, or, they've had all these things given to them. And I wanted to show that you literally can get an idea. You can get up off the couch one day, you can put one foot in front of the other, or in my case, one pedal over the other, and just go after an idea. And you don't have to know exactly what it's going to look like all along the way. You just have to have the finish line in sight and go for that. Now, on our cycle ride, we had multiple detours and all kinds of things that we had to go around, but we had this finish line in sight. And so we did cycle up to the Parliament Buildings in Ottawa, victorious with our 5,000 kilometers. But it sparked in me something very unique, this knowingness that it took us 56 days to cycle 5,000 kilometers, but every single day we were taking the strides, we were doing what we had to, and it was a process, it was a journey. There was something in every single day that was magical to get us to the next day. And so the next summer we cycled to the top of the world in the Yukon, just up to the Alaska border, and that was so powerful. That was 6,500 kilometers. And this summer we're going to just go galactic. We're going to cycle from Vancouver to Newfoundland, 8,600 kilometers. And along the way, we're going to be filming a documentary and a new book called Ignite Humanity, because more than ever, I am so excited to share the power of humanity. Because in all those cycle rides, let me tell you, Diana, we had so many people show up, help us, invite us into their house, give us food. We were like outside of town, getting our photo taken in front of the city sign, and a car pulled over off the highway, like, can I take your photo for you? Because we were trying to do a selfie. The humanity that came out and showed up for us cycling across Canada has been so incredible that it sparked the idea of humanity. And I want people to see that. And so we're going to be looking for people that want to tell their story about how their Ignite moment is igniting humanity. We're going to cycle across the country. We're going to write a book about it, and we're going to film it so people see truly how incredible humanity is, how people are loving, giving, kind, sharing, welcoming. I think we need to infuse that back into the world.
Absolutely. And so for those of you watching, if it happens to be summertime and you see this big motorhome with the words Ignite alongside it, following along behind you, in front of you, beside you, or parked with a film crew, stop in and say hi. Share your Ignite moment, because JB and Ignite has a unique mission to be able to ignite 7 billion lives.
Yeah, we want to share 7 billion Ignite moments. See, there's so many things happening in the world. And I think COVID for the first time has been this common denominator amongst us all. And it's really a travesty that an illness or a pandemic is the one thing that we all can relate to. Yeah. I want to make stories the one thing we all can relate to, because the truth is, no matter where you live and what color is your skin and what you do for a living, you understand the human condition. And the stories that we tell, they highlight that human condition. And so I may not know you or know your last name or know what you do for a living, but if I read your story and I know that the triumphs that you've been through and the struggles, I'm going to relate to you on a whole different level. And I know for a fact, because we've done 700 of them, that if we can tell every single Ignite moment, if every single person on the planet feels seen, heard, belong, and that their story matters, that's going to unite us. And that's going to be a way more powerful common denominator than what we have right now. And so absolutely committed. Our mission, 7 billion Ignite moments shared. And we're just going to, we're doing it now, but we're even going to jump into it more this summer and start filming it.
Amen. Amazing. We're going to take another quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm here with my friend JB Owens, who's an incredibly successful entrepreneur, publisher, writer, author, celebrity, because she can get on a stage and she can hold the audience's attention with so much wisdom and heart and love and light. And JB is all about creating stories that help to unite humanity. And we need it now more than ever. So thank you for being here. And I want to ask you a final question. With my show being called Realign to Thrive, and I understand fully that we all need to realign to thrive in the world today, what tip, what message, what wisdom would you like to give our listeners so that they can realign to thrive? If there's one thing that they could do today, what would it be?
Well, I got to just jump into my favorite word, which is possibilities. Like I think
Mm.
now more than ever, we have to be thinking of what's possible, and not what we thought was possible, but what is truly possible. And what is possible is anything and everything. I mean, I am so passionate about the idea that you can have everything you want. You may not be able to have it all at the same time, but you can absolutely have every single thing you want. And I have a couple of things I share. You want to have purpose. You want to know what it is you're doing. You want to have a focus and a reason why you're going after it. And then you want to surround yourself with the people that can support you and uplift you, mentors and coaches and trainers and teachers, and people who support you. They may not understand what you do, but they love your ideas. And so surround yourself with the right people. And then you want to, of course, have passion. You want to get up every day and throw back the covers, and you want to love what you do so it doesn't feel like work. You would do it anyway. I heard something just the other day. They said you're only successful the moment you would work if you would work without any pay. Like that's when you get successful, is like with you work
Yes.
with no income, like no, not being paid to do it. And then, of
Yes.
course, the last one is you got to have a plan. You got to have a
Yeah.
plan for what it is you want to do, strategic ideas, steps that are going to move you forward. And that's going to help you thrive. And so, people, passion, purpose, and plan, it's going to help you realign. And all of those things are absolutely going to help you thrive. And it's all about making it possible.
Great answer. Great answer. I want to reiterate that the one thing that's really driving a lot of this possibility energy is the School of Possibilities through the Classroom of Hope organizations. We would totally appreciate your donations for that experience. JB wants to build 12 schools, 20 schools, 12 schools in 12 months. And so we really would love your support and your help. And you could go to the igniteu.life website and you'll see the opportunity there to donate to the School of Possibilities through the Classroom of Hope. JB, is there any other way that you would like people to connect with you? And do you have an offer for our audience?
Yeah, absolutely. I just would love to share that it's $1 for every brick for the school. And
Yeah.
so even the smallest donation is going to make a big difference. These children need to have this opportunity and create what's possible. And so please do go to igniteu.life. You will see the Classroom of Hope, the Ignite Possibilities School of Hope, and you can donate there. And I would love to give to you because in the spirit of giving, when you give, you receive. And so I have amazing audio recording called Affirmations of a Billionaire. It's something you can listen to each and every night to get you into the mindset, to get you into the mantra. And billionaire for me is not about money. It's about a billion smiles, a billion impacts, a billion hugs, a billion people who resonate with your vision and your message. And that to me is the power of being a billionaire. And then, of course, I have a fabulous virtual mentor program where every single day I text you what's possible right on your phone. You get a text from me to inspire you with what's possible for you today. And I'm happy, Dana, to give that to anyone who's listening, a free month and an opportunity to enjoy my virtual mentor program.
Incredible. Thank you so much. So go ahead, go to igniteu.life, make your donation to the School of Possibilities, Classroom of Hope. Register for the mentorship program. We'll make sure the link is available. And then you can also get your Affirmations of a Billionaire. Thank you so much, JB. I adore you. I adore what your team, your husband, your family, what you're doing in the world. I'm most incredibly passionate about people sharing their stories as well. I actually didn't realize I was so passionate about that until you and I met. For those of you who don't know, I've written 4 books now. I'm on my 4th chapter with JB and the Ignite family, and also writing my solo book, which will come out someday. Someday soon. Someday soon. Thank you so much. I know you're super busy. Thank you for taking the time to be here. I can't wait to see how Ignite continues to sprinkle possibilities in the world. And thank you so much to everybody watching JB Owens. Follow her on social media. Follow Ignite on YouTube, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Ignite You on YouTube. And thank you again for being here, my friend.
Thank you to you. And thank you for all the things that you're doing. You are igniting lives, and we are so grateful to have you, and blessings to you. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks so much for tuning in today. Wasn't that a great episode? I am so excited to bring to you heart-centered leaders who are making global impact in the world as a beautiful imprint for all of us that we too can make a difference. Until we meet again, I'm Diana Lockett, and know that you can always realign to thrive.